Hello, good evening, and welcome to another show of Sportscast. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special episode for you today. We are joined in the studio by two very, very special guests. So I'll introduce first from the right, going to the left. We have on our right Brother Salaman Iqbal, who recently just won Entrepreneur of the Year in Luton, a very astute businessman. Not only is he a dentist and businessman, he is also a BJJ athlete. In fact, he is the first Lutonian to win the Grand Slam in Jiu-Jitsu, and he has won gold medals across the whole world. Going across the room, we are also joined by a very special guest, Mikhail Highlander, who is actually, and this is not an exaggeration here, the number 2 ranked BJJ fighter in the whole world. So when we advertised today's show, we were saying that there are world champions in Luton, so that is not an exaggeration by any means. Not only is Mikhail Highlander the number 2 ranked BJJ fighter in the world, he has won numerous gold medals. In fact, just this year, he's won 4 Grand Slams himself. So very, very impressive accolades there. And we are joined in the studio by two very, very special guests. So I'll start with Dr. Salaman Iqbal. Do you want to introduce yourself, your background?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah for having us on the show. MashaAllah, this is a weekly show that we listen to and we enjoy. And obviously, we reached out to you because, alhamdulillah, as Lutonians, we've got so much in this city and so much in this town. And alhamdulillah, we just want to share that with the audience, and we want to just share that with our other Lutonians and bring out the best in them.
No, absolutely. Later on in the show, we'll be speaking about the club that you started a number of years ago, because not only are you a jiu-jitsu athlete, you're also a server of the community as well in many ways. So we will speak about that in detail further on. And Brother Mikhail, pleasure to finally meet you in person. I've heard a lot about you, but I've not seen you before. So it's great to see you. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and what got you into jiu-jitsu?
My name is Mikhail Highlander. I'm from Brazil. And 3 years ago, I moved to London. And recently, I moved to Luton to be part of Luton Grappling Club because I was looking for improvements. And I met Salomon and Faisal in the competition. Like, we always travel around the world and we meet people when we're fighting. And I met them and they invited me to come to the gym. Mm-hmm. And I come to the gym, I say how they work, how professional they are. Yeah. How was the connection between them and the students, and how they want to not just them, but also the students and the people who train there to win. So I thought that was very interesting, and that was something that make me want to join the team as well, because
Awesome.
What I feel in Luton Grappling Club, the difference between there and all the other gyms I've ever been is the brotherhood. I feel like there they don't care about themselves, they care about the team. So the team grows as a family, so we're always looking after each other. We want the best for each other. And I'm training for 15 years.
Wow.
And I'm being a black belt for 3 years. And I've been working really hard to win a Grand Slam for 2 years.
Wow.
And then I moved to Luton Grappling Club this year, and we work it together. We see where I was needed to improve. And only this year I won my first Grand Slam under Luton Grappling Club in Japan. Then I traveled to Russia and I won in Russia. And I traveled to China and I won in China. And I traveled to Australia and I won in Australia. So in 3 years at black belt, I haven't won any Grand Slam.
Wow.
And then I moved to Luton Grappling Club this year. And I felt just like a crazy improvement in a short time.
Yeah.
And I won 4 Grand Slam in a row.
That's awesome. Serial winner then. That's an amazing introduction by Mikhail. Seriously, a world-class athlete. And like I said before, not an exaggeration at all. Genuinely, the number 2 ranked BJJ athlete in the world. A lot of listeners might be thinking that we're just adding a bit of dust on top there, but genuinely, these are real stats. Sometimes it's quite hard to believe until you actually see, which is awesome. We'll later on speak about where you can find Mikhail and Luton Grappling Club online. But just speaking about Luton Grappling Club, and we'll start with you, Mikhail. You've obviously trained around the world. You're from Brazil, the birthplace of Jiu-Jitsu. How would you compare Luton Grappling Club to some of the other clubs you've been a part of in the past in terms of level of Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah, I feel like in Luton Grappling Club, you have everything you needed to be a professional athlete. We have the Jiu-Jitsu, you have the technique, you have the body training, You have doctors, you have gym, you have sauna, you have oxygen tank. But one thing, as I said before, is like the difference between Luton Grapple Club and all the other clubs is the brotherhood. Because you can have everything, but if you don't have a good environment, you're not gonna grow.
Yeah.
Because as I said, I'm coming from Brazil. I've been training at high levels all my life, and I was been trying to win that Grand Slam since I got my black belt in 2022. It's been 2022, 2023, because I got my black belt at the end of 2022. So 2023, 2024, and I haven't won Grand Slam. I had the jiu-jitsu level already. I had the technique, I had everything, but I was missing something that I got when I come into Luton Grapple Club. Because you can just like follow my story, you're gonna see.
Yeah.
I was fighting all around the world in 2022, 2024. But my first Grand Slam was when I moved to Luton Grapple Club, because I feel like this is when like everything changed in my life, and because I learned a lot with these guys, and I feel like the brotherhood of the team, and this gives me like a strong power to win the competition now. And
sorry,
so I'm just gonna give an example that what happened before I joined Luton Grapple Club. I traveled to California, awards, and I wasn't like 100% Luton Grapple Club yet. Then I went towards and I broke my rib.
Sure.
And I was feeling like so sad, But when you win a competition, lots of people text you. You win, you champion. But when you lose,
people forget.
And I wasn't in the team yet. I wasn't Luton Grapple Club. And the only two messages I got on my phone was Salman and Faisal.
Wow.
And I thought, how these guys, who is not even from my team, is care about how I feel, how I am, even when I lost it.
Yeah.
Imagine if I joined the team, if they care about me, I'm not from the team and I just lost it.
Yeah.
How are we gonna do if we're working together now? And I come there, we spoke, we have an agreement, and that was the best choice I ever made in my jiu-jitsu career. Because after that, it's just
No, that's awesome to hear from a world-class athlete. I mean, so many of the world-class athletes across the world, you see this similar message. Even if you look at some of the best UFC fighters, the likes of Khabib and Islam Makhachev, the brotherhood that they have, and you see that the world-class athlete levels and the accolades that they achieved, it didn't just start and finish with one athlete. It went on in that gym, and now the whole world sees Dagestan as the gold standard when it comes to MMA. So this theme of brotherhood is extremely important. So Dr. Salaman, speaking to you, I remember when you first opened Luton Grappling Club. In fact, I actually was one of the members there.
Founding member.
So I was actually one of the members there. I remember, and I can definitely second what Mikhail is saying about the sense of brotherhood that people get when they go there. Sometimes someone's level might not be the best, but they enjoy going just for the brotherhood. And slowly as they go, they get that amount of time and they get better and better. So what does your club stand for? And would you say one of the main pillars is that brotherhood?
Like Mikhail was saying, for us, the brotherhood is so important. And that's what Islam teaches us. That's what the Prophet ﷺ taught us. That you want for you want for your brother what you want for yourself.
Yeah.
So if I want the glory, if I want the championships, then I need to have that same feeling. At that same level for my brother as well.
Absolutely.
And we can see that, like you said, we gave the example of Khabib and Islam Makhachev. He's not just fighting for himself. When Islam goes into the cage, he's not fighting for himself. He's fighting for his team.
Yeah.
And everyone behind him.
Yeah.
And that's the same way I feel. And that's the same way, coach feels as well. That when I go to fight, I'm not just fighting, even though I'm there by myself. I'm stepping on the mats by myself as an individual. There's no one around me. No one can help me. But I'm representing something bigger than just myself.
Yeah.
I'm representing all the kids that come to the club. All the, the little girls that come to the club. That's what I'm representing. I'm representing my team. I'm representing my community, Luton. And I wear it proud.
Yeah.
I wear Luton Grappling Club on my gi proud.
Awesome.
That's one thing that I'm proud of. I'm proud to be from Luton.
Yeah.
I'm proud to live here.
Yeah.
Obviously we have all this bad publicity and all this bad press around Luton. But alhamdulillah, Allah's given me enough that I could go anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
But I choose to be here.
Absolutely. That's awesome to hear.
As a community, we've got so much to give. We've got so many athletes in this community. So many.
Yeah.
They just need to be just pushed in the right direction.
Yeah.
They need to be, nurtured and, they need to be looked after. And alhamdulillah, we're already seeing it. We're already seeing, we're producing champions at all levels, at all belts. And alhamdulillah, it's just a beautiful thing to see.
It's awesome because the growth of Luton Grappling Club has been amazing. I remember speaking to you a couple of years before you opened Luton Grappling Club, and you almost had a vision that I want to open up this club, and I want to see lots of brothers there. You know, the sense of brotherhood. I want to see kids come to the club, and I want to see it have a genuine impact on the youth. So you almost had a vision. So the question I have is, just to add on to that a little bit, is what made you open Luton Grappling Club, and what inspired you to not only take up jiu-jitsu, but you've taken it a step further. You've also become a coach and created a whole club around it. What inspired you?
Initially, when I was looking at the concept of opening a jiu-jitsu club in Luton, every single person I spoke to told me not to do it. You know, because they've had bad experiences in the past. But alhamdulillah, you know, something, you know, just felt right for me at that moment.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, I said, you know what? You know, Allah brings the goodness to it. Allah will bring the people.
Yeah.
And we opened it with 3 people.
Yeah.
The first time we opened Luton Grappling Club, there was 3 students on the mat. And that was it. And then alhamdulillah, slowly, you know, it grew into what it is now. We have 7 days a week of classes, morning, evenings, lunchtime classes. We have, mashallah, over 300 kids that train with us every week.
Wow.
You know, we've got some real good kids, real good athletes.
Yeah.
One thing this year that we're so proud of, alhamdulillah, is that we've got female-only classes now.
That is awesome.
So we've got a lot of sisters now that come. They've got a safe space to train jiu-jitsu in.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, jiu-jitsu is not just physical, it's emotional as well. Like whatever emotional baggage you have, you can come and you can leave at that gym.
Yeah.
And you go home fresh.
Yeah.
You know, alhamdulillah, that's what it gives me. And that's one of the, if somebody says to me, what's the biggest benefit for you over everything? It's not that I'm winning or I'm, you know, I'm fighting or I'm going to, you know, around the world to all these competitions. Is that alhamdulillah gives me peace. You know, I go home and I feel like I'm in peace. And alhamdulillah, that's what we're giving to everyone. We're giving it to the adults, to the children. Now, alhamdulillah, we're providing the women with the same service. And alhamdulillah, some, you know, they're joining up faster than the men are joining up.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You know,
because cool.
You know, this day and age, we all know the situation in the UK.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you have to be able to defend yourself to some extent.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know, whether you're a Muslim brother, whether you're a sister, whoever you are, you have to have some basic knowledge of defense.
Yeah.
You know, we can see the right wings on the rise.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, sooner or later, fascism is going to be knocking at the door. And, you know, we as men, you know, we're the shepherds of our family.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to lead the way. And inshallah, if we lead the way, our children and our women will follow us.
Yeah, no, very well said by Dr. Salaman, the owner of Luton Grappling Club. Today, we're joined in the studio by 2 very, very special guests. We have Dr. Salaman, who is the owner and founder of Luton Grappling Club and the head coach of Luton Grappling Club, Mikhail Highlander, the number 2 ranked BJJ athlete in the world. Brothers and sisters, listeners, for all of you out there that are listening to the show, please dial in, listen to the show, engage with us. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. Also, if you want to speak to Mikhail or Dr. Salaman or have any questions around jiu-jitsu and sports in general, please contact us in the studio. You can message us on WhatsApp on 0777 948 1822. If you'd like to have a discussion or question or engage with our 2 guests today, you can also call us on 01582 481822. So we've heard a little bit about the background of Luton Grappling Club and what inspired you, Dr. Salaman, to become a coach and open the club. How about yourself, Mikhail? You said you've been doing jiu-jitsu for, was it around 15 years?
15 years.
15 years. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
27.
27. So you started from a very, very young age.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to also become a coach as well? Because most athletes, when they get to an elite level, they just focus specifically on just the fighting aspect. Yeah. Or what made you want to also become a coach?
Because for me, jiu-jitsu is just like something I really love. You know, I love to train, I love to compete, I love to teach. Can live a lifestyle that I enjoy so much. And one different thing from jiu-jitsu that makes jiu-jitsu special and different from everything I ever done in my life is, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter which color you are or where you're from, as soon as you step on the mat, is everybody the same. You know, we're coming from jiu-jitsu, we see that people like is very rich, people is very poor. Yeah, you see police, you see lots of different people in the same place, and we all treat each other the same. And one of the most important thing in jiu-jitsu is to respect each other. And also we learn a lot of respect in the mats and outside the mats. And this is something I've been doing like since kid. You know, I love to stay in the mats. I love to talk about jiu-jitsu. I love to share my knowledge and things I've been learning since younger, you know. And so it's not just about the competitions, you know, because one thing I learned with my coach back in Brazil is that medal is just like doesn't mean stuff, you know.
Yeah.
The journey means something, you know.
Absolutely.
So you have to enjoy the journey, and I try to enjoy as much as I can, you know.
Yeah. Very sorry to go. We've actually got a caller. I think they may have a question for you. We've actually got a caller on the line at the moment. So I just wanted to ask who is on the other side of the line.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammed.
Alaikum assalam, Mohammed. Yes. And did you have a question or something that you wanted to speak to our two very special guests today about?
Yeah, it's just I had a little question about their opinions on the UFC GOAT.
Okay, so that's a question for our two guests, Dr. Salaman and Mikhail. Our caller, Mohammed, is asking, who do you say is the GOAT or the greatest of all time in the UFC? So we'll start off with Mikhail.
The greatest of whole time.
Yeah, in UFC specifically.
I would say John Jones.
John Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you think about the allegations around the drugs, and would you think that potentially diminishes his legacy, or?
But you mean inside the cage or as a
that's
person?
fair. That's fair. That's a good distinction.
Yeah, I'm talking like inside the cage.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
So
completely.
if you're talking about life and all this stuff, I would say Khabib.
Yeah.
But I mean, fighting inside the cage for who he fighted, for how he beat, like all the champions he beat, from the 3 generations he went through, he got like when he started like Lyoto Machida and all these guys, then he got like a new generation, and now he's like the old school guy, got all the new generation coming, you know. So he's, in my opinion, inside the match, he's the coach. But if you say as an athlete, as a person, and how they live their life and how they fight, and I would say Khabib.
I can't say I disagree with you. I'm 100% with you. His resume speaks for himself, for itself. What about you, Dr. Salman?
Obviously, Khabib, man.
Yeah.
For us, it's Khabib. You know, it always will be Khabib. Alhamdulillah, what he done for the sport, and what he done for the ummah,
he's a great role model,
is still unmatched. You know, he's the Muhammad Ali of our generation.
Absolutely.
That's the truth. And you know, years will go by, and unfortunately, we'll forget certain fighters. But Khabib will, inshallah, you know, Allah give him that respect and that legacy. You know, and you know, like even now, you know, it's not just him, but he's built the fighters behind him, like Islam Makhachev. You've got his cousins, and you know, again, they're doing exactly what he done. But not as good as him. That fight, look, the fight between Khabib and Conor.
It's the most satisfying fight ever.
That was the fight, man. Does that make sense? That was the fight.
I think that's got to be the greatest fight of all time.
Like MMA would have gone either way at that point.
Yeah, true.
Does that make sense? Either Khabib and his team would have taken over, or McGregor and his team would have taken over. That was the decider. That was the battle. Does that make sense? Yeah.
We have another caller on the line. Lots of engagement. It seems like we've got the household names in the studio today. So lots of people calling in. So can I ask who is the next person on the line?
Hello, my name is Pervez.
Hello, Pervez, and how are you doing? You okay?
Not too bad, thank you.
Okay, Pervez. And what was your question? I'm guessing it was either for Dr. Salaman or Mikhail Highlander, or just a general question?
It's for both.
For both. Okay, and what is your question?
I would like to know who is their favorite student.
Ooh, that's a very controversial question there. I'm guessing there's a lot of listeners in from Luton Grappling Club, and they're keen to get on the good books of their teachers. So, Dr. Salaman, who's your favorite student?
I'm gonna give it to Mikhail first.
Passing the buck, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna pass it, man.
So, Mikhail, who's your favorite student?
Can be my favorite coach.
What's your diplomatic answer then?
I think, look, for me, it's the student that works the hardest.
Yeah.
And that's the truth, you know. The student that works the hardest, who wakes up in the morning and comes to the gym at 7 o'clock, that sacrifices his sleep, you know, that goes to sleep early. He doesn't sit watching Netflix. You know, he knows he's got a goal.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to be good at jiu-jitsu. He wants to be the best. And alhamdulillah, that's what Islam teaches us.
Yeah.
That whatever we do with ihsan. Be the best.
Absolutely.
You know, why settle for less? Why settle for average? And alhamdulillah, that's something for me. I try to do in all aspects of my life. I try to be the best. Whether you get there or not, that's up to Allah.
Yeah.
You know, but you have to put that effort in. You know, we've got some students and they know who they are.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need to mention the names, you know, but they know who they are. You know, the ones that wake up, man. And it's hard to get out of bed at
Definitely,
6 o'clock in the morning, especially now it's winter, it's cold.
Cold, raining.
You got the heating on, you got a nice blanket.
Mm.
Your mom's gonna tell you, "Hey, son, what are you doing? Why are you going out so early in the morning?
Yeah.
Sleep." And he still gets out of bed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there's guys that walk to the gym.
Mm.
Alhamdulillah, we've got the luxury of cars.
Yeah.
We've got some youngsters that walk to the gym, and they inspire me.
Yeah.
You know, they're inspiration for me. I'm sure they're inspiration for coach as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and they work hard, and man, you see the results.
Absolutely.
That's the truth. There's no, like coach was saying, reality hits on the mats.
Mm.
There's nothing like it. You can't run from it.
For sure.
You know, you can't get somebody to help you. You can't make excuses.
Yeah.
When it's 1 against 1, that's when reality hits you, and you know who's worked harder on that day.
Mm.
Yeah.
Would you say then it's safe to say the thing that differentiates the very best is more of a mental thing?
I think it depends on how much you want to something, you know.
Mm.
Because what happened a lot of people is they want something, but they don't want enough to work for that, you know.
Yeah.
And I learn a lot with my coach now, and I always like to say to people what he used to say to me. And he say you have to wanna win the gold medal as much as you wanna drink water when you're thirsty. So imagine you like one day walking like the sun like very hot in the desert. How much you want to drink that water?
Yeah.
What would you do to get the water?
Yeah.
What would you do? You would do anything.
Mm.
Anything takes, forget that water. So it's the same with like your goal, you know.
Yeah.
So what is your goal? So you have a goal. So how much you want that goal?
Absolutely.
You just want to. Everybody wants to, you know.
Mm.
So many people want to be world champion.
Yeah.
But who really want to be world champion? World champion to pay the price to be a world champion.
Absolutely.
You know?
That's an awesome response there. We do have another caller, lots of back-to-back callers today. So can I ask who's on the line?
Hello, my name is Amma.
Okay. Hello, Amma. And what is your question today?
My question is, if, let's say somebody doesn't have any experience in BJJ or wrestling, and they want to get into it, what would you say are, one, the biggest reasons to start, and then two, what would you say to prep someone's mind to get into BJJ and actually take it seriously?
Okay. So did you get the question?
Yeah. So look, I'm a great question, man, by the way. Great question. And you know, myself and Coach Orlando were at that stage one day in our life where we sat there and we considered whether we should start jiu-jitsu or not. And I remember very clearly, because I started a little bit later. I started when I was 21. And I remember walking into the jiu-jitsu club on the first day I walked in, and I sat there and I watched. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you want to come to the club, come to Luton Grappling Club, sit down, watch your class, that's fine. But if you're braver than me, then alhamdulillah, you can join one of our beginners classes. We have beginners classes which are primarily designed for beginners. So we make sure we look after you, we take care of you, we teach you.
Sorry to interrupt, but why BJJ? Why not do kickboxing instead? Why not do wrestling? Why not do boxing?
Amar, do you mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm in my late 20s.
You're in your late 20s. Okay, alhamdulillah, that's good. So look, for me, the reason why I chose jiu-jitsu over everything else, I've got experience in boxing. I've got experience in MMA. I've fought several times, you know, in the cage and stuff. For me, jiu-jitsu is a beautiful art. It's an art that doesn't involve whoever's strongest or whoever's, you know, the biggest. It's designed for somebody smaller. I'm a smaller frame guy. You know, I'm normally walking around at maybe 81 kilograms. So I'm not a big guy. But alhamdulillah, jiu-jitsu has given me that confidence that, you know, when I fight a coach, I think I'm going to beat him. You know, look, whether I beat him or not, that doesn't matter.
I can tell.
But that's
like a final competition.
Have you ever had a all-out roll, like a proper...
Yeah, we go every time.
Every day.
Yeah,
Every day he trains with me. I feel like he wanna kill me.
Yeah, we need to make it pay-per-view. Then.
Listen, when I wake up in the morning, when we do morning classes, I wake up and there's no word of a lie. I wake up and I say, today's the day.
Yeah.
This guy's gonna get submitted today.
I don't like it those days.
But look, back to Amar's question. Amar, great question, by the way. But for me, it levels the playing field. Whether the guy's
So,
bigger
sorry,
than me,
Can I just interrupt once again? Yeah?
of course, man.
So you said you were doing boxing and you've been in the cage.
Yeah.
Surely your confidence came from doing that before BJJ. I'm asking if someone has no combat experience, how do they build their mind up on their mindset to get into like, I'm going to do this? And also, what are the benefits of it?
We are just 30 seconds away from the break, so I'll get Dr. Salaman to answer the question.
Yeah, I'll quickly wrap up on my quickly, brother, for you.
Yeah.
So, inshallah, look, the benefit is that, look, you're going to learn how to defend yourself. And that's the truth. Like, jiu-jitsu is a defensive martial art. I learn how to defend myself, defend my family, defend the ones that I love. You know, not all of us can take a punch. Not all of us can take a kick to the head. You know, and for me, it's all about intelligence. And that's what jiu-jitsu is. Jiu-jitsu is based on intelligence, not on strength and power.
Yeah. Awesome to hear. Join us back again after the break.
Thank you.
This program will continue after the break. Continue listening to Inspire FM. Inspire FM.
Inspire 105.1 FM.
السلام عليكم وبسم الله. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب أو عابر السبيل. That be in this world as if you were a stranger or a traveller.
Visit Luton's biggest halal supermarket, the Grand Bazaar Supermarket on Lee Grave Road, for an unbeatable range of fresh halal meat, poultry, fish, fruits and vegetables from all around the world. And all under one roof. Plus everyday essentials, basic healthcare items and even medicine. Everything you need, all in one place. That's the Grand Bazaar Supermarket, Lee Grave Road, just next door to Shell, Luton's largest international supermarket. Open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and view online at grandbazaarluton.com.
Greystone Solicitors are committed to protecting your rights and fighting your corner to ensure you get the best possible results. Specialising in immigration matters, employment issues, family matters, personal injury, medical negligence, civil litigation and housing. Need help with your immigration problem? Greystone Solicitors provide free immigration drop-in clinics every Friday. Call Greystone Solicitors today on 01582 343 453 or visit us at 275 Dunstable Road, Luton, LU4 8BS, and begin your journey towards justice today.
वेस्टबोर्न फार्मेसी हफ्ते के 7 दिन सुबह 9 बजे से लेकर रात 9 बजे तक खुली रहती है। हमारी सर्विसेज में शामिल हैं ट्रैवल वैक्सीनेशंस, स्टॉप स्मोकिंग, डायबिटीज चेक, बच्चों की ग़िज़ा और बहुत कुछ। लुटन और डंस्टेबल में फ्री प्रिस्क्रिप्शन, पिकअप और डिलीवरी सर्विसेज भी की जाती है। इसके अलावा आप मेडिसिन के इस्तेमाल के लिए फ्री मशवरा भी ले सकते हैं। वेस्टबोर्न फार्मेसी 198 B Dunstable Road, Luton, corner of Westbourne Road. Telephone 01582 419 432.
Are you ready to embark on a journey of purpose and impact? The East of England Ambulance Service is recruiting now. Are you seeking training in a new career or looking for a challenge in development? Start your career for life with East. Apply now for roles in frontline emergency operations, control rooms, support services and non-emergency transport. Visit www.eastamb.nhs.uk and click Join the Team. Make a real difference. Join the East of England Ambulance Service and start your career for life.
Are you looking for a guaranteed return on investment? With Wanama's ongoing Sadaqah fund, your £1 a day turns into food for the hungry, water for the thirsty, and care for the orphans. We work in 20 countries, including Gaza, Yemen, Uganda, and more. A continuous charity, and 100% of your donation goes to those who need it most. Invest in this life for your akhirah at www.wanama.org.uk.
बाअदब बामुलाहिज़ा
माजी हाल मुस्तकबिल की बातों के सुराग, इल्मी अदबी अफसाना शायरी और जिंदगी के राज, हवा की लहरों से बन के आवाज, ये है प्रोग्राम चराग। पेश किया जा रहा है हर जुमा शाम 7 से 8।
From the studios of Inspire FM, the time is now 7:30.
Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the second half of today's very special show of Sportscast. Before we get into the second half, I do believe we have another caller on the other end of the line. Lots and lots of callers today, which is great to see. I'm sure it's because of our very special guests. So can I ask who is on the other side of the line?
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. I'd rather not give my name, but I would just like to put a question to Brother Salaman, just asking what are the benefits for women doing jiu-jitsu?
Excellent, excellent question, sister. Wa alaikum assalam, by the way. So Dr. Salaman, what are the benefits of females doing jiu-jitsu?
Wa alaikum salam. So as I was mentioning before, jiu-jitsu is the art that gives a smaller person a level playing field. So, you know, as Allah made us different, Allah made men and women very different. Structurally, women are always going to be a little bit smaller and a little bit, you know, not as strong as men. But that doesn't mean that they can't overpower a man with technique. And that's what jiu-jitsu gives you. Now, that doesn't compare to kickboxing or wrestling or boxing. The only time you'll see, sometimes we see it, and I've seen it before in gyms, you know, outside of Luton, when I've been sitting there and I see, you know, a big, strong young man come in. And then you've got a small little blue belt. You know, she's very petite, very small. And suddenly, within a couple of seconds, she's on the back and she's choking this guy and this guy's tapping. And you sit there and you have to laugh to yourself.
Alhamdulillah.
You know?
My daughter's been attending your classes for a while now, and I can actually see a big difference in her confidence. I just want to know the future, like what do you hold for the future for your women's classes? Will you be expanding? Would you be going further than Luton, or are you thinking of just staying within Luton with your classes?
Alhamdulillah, so the women's classes is something very new to us. You know, we started this year in terms of establishing, and I think that was the hardest thing, was establishing a women's class and making sure it is consistent. Alhamdulillah, now we have 3 times a week, which is really, you know, coach will tell you, is really unheard of to have women's only classes 3 times a week, and having a group of sisters, mashallah, which are, you know, training on a regular basis. And alhamdulillah, I hope they're finding benefit from it. We do want to increase classes. Sorry, sister, Karen.
I'm sorry, and I'd just like to say to you and your coach and the coaches in your gym, you know, thank you so much for providing this service for our children, our daughters, our sons. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much.
No, alhamdulillah, sister. Look, we truly and genuinely do this from love. You know, I love my community. I love the people that are around me. I love the children. Like today, I was just leaving the gym, and I must have high-fived about 40 kids on the way out. You know, but that brings me joy, man. You know, children bring me joy. You know, just seeing them smile, having a good time, running around.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what it's there for.
Must be so rewarding, right?
Also, I think giving girls and women a safe place where they can come and they know it's a place where they can take off their hijabs and be themselves. I think that's one of the biggest benefits my daughters had from your gym. And I'd like to say thank you very much.
And like you're saying, sister, you know, we've made a very safe environment for our sisters. So it's purely female only. You know, so you won't have any men coming in or out of the gym at that time. And alhamdulillah, you know, and that's why it's working. And that's our commitment to the sisters. That now we've started something. That's something that for me anyway in life, I always try to keep that consistent. If I start something, I see it through. And alhamdulillah, we're seeing the benefits now of it.
Yeah, that's very refreshing to hear, and thank you very much for your call, sister. I do believe we have another caller on the line. Can I ask who is on the line? I'm not sure if it's connected yet. Do we have another caller on the line?
Yes, brother Abu Bakr.
Hello, brother Abu Bakr. And do you have a question for our 2 special guests today?
Yeah, I've been following you guys for some time now, and I've seen one of the fighters by the name of Faisal Kiani. I just want to know what your thoughts on him for the future. Where do you think he will progress to?
Okay, so Mikhail, do you want to answer? The question was by brother Abu Bakr, Mikhail, that he's been inspired by one of your members in your gym, Faisal Kiani, and he's seen him on social media and he's been following him. What are your thoughts on him as an athlete and his progression in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I think Faisal, you know, I think was the difference between Faisal and all the other athletes we have in the gym. It's because he's working really hard. You know, he works hard. He wake up in the morning early. He come to the gym. He do all the rounds. He do all the specific training. He's like doing the diet properly. He lift weights. He go work. He come back in the evening. He does the same thing. You know, we travel all the world together. And in a short time, since I moved to Luton, how long has it been?
It's been like 6 months now.
And I'm seeing like a crazy improvement in Faisal, you know. He's just like improving in every area. He's improving in his technique, his strength. his mindset. And I believe if he carry on like that, he gonna reach for one level with not even he thought he could be, just because the consistency he's have is something like it's difficult to see someone like that.
Very true. Yeah, no, that's very awesome to hear. I've actually seen Faisal as well when I joined Luton Grappling Club towards the beginning, and I think his journey's been very impressive, to say the least. The fact that you could say he was kind of the first student of Luton Grappling Club, and he started off as a white belt, and now he's actually a black belt and one of the teachers inside the gym. So what a success story. So it shows that there's others out there that can do the same. Yeah. What were your thoughts on
Yeah, alhamdulillah, look, Faisal, my younger brother. I've got a lot of love from him. He motivates me, and I'm sure he'll motivate coach.
For sure.
When I know he's coming in the morning, I'm like, boy, I better go up, man.
Yeah,
I can't let him get any better, man.
he's like a machine, isn't it?
It doesn't stop.
Fuel never runs out.
It doesn't stop, and from the first minute until the end, the same strength, the same intensity. It's just annoying to train you for him.
That's awesome. We've got another caller. I had an agenda to follow today, but,
That's right,
but you know what? This is what it's all about. It's about interacting with the listeners out there. This is what we do it for. So can I ask who is on the other end of the line?
Hello, my name is Mani, and I want to ask the coaches a question. What is their favorite submission and why?
Ooh, and Mani, how old are you? 8, mashallah. The first youngster that's called in. So well done for calling, and an excellent question. What was the answer to?
For me, I like the arm triangle.
Yeah.
So a little bit of Islam Makachev there.
Yeah.
When I get to the arm triangle, I know, mashallah, I'm in a good position. Most of my submission wins at black belt have been from arm triangle.
Wow.
Coach.
Grand Slam World Pro.
Grand Slam World Pro. I got
he done in the biggest competition in the world.
Wow.
He done,
Wow. Awesome. And yourself, Mikhail Hainat?
I like flying number. I think it's my
flying
favorite.
number.
Because people don't expect me to do it because I'm heavy,
Yeah.
But before, when I was young, I was very skinny, so I got the muscle memory to do the jump.
Yeah.
So I got heavier, but I still can jump the same when I was younger. So people don't expect for me to jump. So when they stretch the arm, I just 95 kg jumping.
You know what's cool? A lot of people do flying arm bars just for the show of it, but I've seen some of your highlight reels.
Yeah.
And you've done it in competition.
I've done a lot in competition.
Exactly, yeah. So it's pretty awesome. For those of you, by the way, that are listening and want to follow on our special guest today, you can follow them on Luton Grappling Club. Do you want to give your Instagram and TikTok handles?
So obviously on Instagram, we're just Luton Grappling Club.
Yeah.
Mashallah, we've got a great following on Luton Grappling Club. TikTok's the same.
Yeah.
Mashallah, this year, we passed 1 million views on TikTok.
Wow.
So alhamdulillah.
On Instagram as well.
On Instagram, Instagram's
Did
been massive.
Mikael have anything to do with that?
The flying arm bars, man. They get the views. Marshall used to meet some of the best black belts in the world with flying arm bar.
Wow.
Which is unheard of.
Yeah.
All I can say is when I fight him, my arms are, like this, man. My arms are tight in.
This guy is the only guy I can do nothing because he has the opposite game as mine. So my game is like outside passing and like scramble and all this thing. When I train with Faisal, we have a good run because I have similar games.
Okay.
When I train with Salaman, I cannot do nothing because he's make me close. He pulling me close, and I need space to fight. And he knows I need space, so he don't let me get space. So it's very annoying.
I think if the demand is there, we need to do a pay-per-view.
No, what Mikhail's saying is that I'm an old man, you know what I mean? I just hold him.
And yourself, Mikhail, where can the listeners find you on social media?
In Luton Grappling Club with lots of pictures of me there, videos. And my Instagram is Mikhail Highlander.
Okay. So for the listeners out there that want to see some flying arm bars and some elite BJJ skills, follow Mikhail Highlander.
Just quickly, a lot of listeners probably did have a leaflet come through the door, and that's us. That's the Luton Grappling Club.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, website's lutongrapplingclub.co.uk.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, just a quick overview of what we provide. We provide men's classes, women's classes. We provide classes for boys and girls throughout the week and on the weekends.
Yeah.
And alhamdulillah, we've been doing this for the last 8 years.
Awesome.
So I would say, look, guys, somebody asked me for number one advice as a father, as a husband, is get your children involved in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
They will thank you when they were older. You're giving them skills for life, skills that they can then go on and teach other children, other adults. I never dreamt when I started jiu-jitsu. I started when I was 21. I never thought I'd be sitting here now teaching jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I never thought we'd have a club and we would have, over mashallah, over almost 400 members. It just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened. Someone told me when I was a white belt that, hey, at some point, you know, you'll be going and you'll be fighting all around the world. I'll be like, man, what are you talking about? You know, I'm just doing this because I just want to. And then exactly like, you know, the brother called up. That's where I was. I was exactly where he was. And alhamdulillah, you know, Allah made the journey happen.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, man, I've enjoyed every single second of it.
Yeah.
And Hilanda will tell you the same. You know, for me, you know, I've been around the world. We just came back from Abu Dhabi. You know, I got to the semi-finals in the World Championships. Something I didn't dream of, man. You know, but alhamdulillah, you know, you just got to work hard. Look, I'm just a normal guy. I don't have anything athletic or anything about me. You know, but alhamdulillah, I work hard.
Yeah.
You know, thanks to these two, you know, Faisal and Michael, to make me work hard. Because I'll be honest with you, look, without these guys, I'd probably just be, you know, just a normal guy training at a gym. You know, but they gave me the belief, they gave me the inspiration, they gave me the confidence that actually, you know what, I'm one of the best around. And alhamdulillah, I'm starting to see that, and I'm starting to believe that now.
That's awesome to see. Today we've covered some amazing themes, and it just shows, in order for you to have success, you need some of these core themes. You know, some of the ones that Mikhail and yourself, Salaman, have been mentioning. You know, having a vision, you know, having the urgency and the drive to do something. Like you need air, like Mikhail was saying. If you have that level of dedication, you'll truly get there. And like yourself, you had a vision many years ago, and it's through the blessings of Allah that you had that vision. You've done it with sincerity. You had the commitment. You didn't stop doing it, because a lot of people can start doing something. You know, training 1 day, 2 days when you're feeling good, it's very easy. But the days when you don't feel like getting out of bed and you want to go to the gym and you still push yourself to do it and you don't let that consistency slip, that's how you get the results. So some awesome things to see there. I'm just going to read out some of the comments that our listeners have been making on Facebook and YouTube. There's a few goat emojis there. I'm sure that's for...
That must be for me, yeah.
There's a few goat emojis. We've actually had our co-host Haroon send a message saying, I think what you're doing is great. Nowadays, there is so much pushing the youth towards bad things like knife crime, drugs, etc. A gym that teaches discipline through martial arts and brotherhood is exactly what we need. Keep it up, lads. Supporting from Yorkshire. We'll actually be speaking about the kids' classes in a little bit more detail. But I have another question that has come through on WhatsApp by a sister. And she's asked, what is the difference between gi and no gi? So for the listeners out there that know about jiu-jitsu, they might only know one version of it, like just gi or just no gi. So people don't know that there's actually a difference, and both of them form part of jiu-jitsu. So what is the difference, number one? And both Mikhail and Salaman, what do you prefer and why? So do you want to explain, Mikhail, the differences first between gi and no gi, and then what your preference is?
There's a lot of difference in the technique, because in the gi you're wearing gi, and in the gi you're not wearing. So lots of technique, you need the gi to apply the technique. And some techniques you do in no gi that you cannot do in the gi, you know. But I prefer gi, you know. It's more traditional. It's better.
We have another caller, but just before I ask yourself, Salman.
Yeah, I'm a gi fighter as well.
But
don't get me wrong, I do no gi, man.
Yeah, we do every day no gi. You have it to train.
No gi is very different, isn't it? Once you've only done gi for a while.
But I think what happens is the gi fighter can fight no gi. But a no gi fighter struggles to fight gi.
Very true, very true. We have another caller on the line, so can I ask who we're speaking to? Hello?
Assalamu alaikum, it's brother Taneem from Milton Keynes.
Wa alaikum assalam. Sorry, what was the name? I didn't quite catch that.
Taneem.
Taneem. Okay, yes, Taneem. What was your question?
First of all, just a quick comment. I just want to give salam to Dr. Salaman and Coach Islander. Really grateful for the amount of work you guys have been doing, especially Dr. Salaman as well. Since the first time I messaged in to Coach, he's given me loads of advice in jiu-jitsu and in general life. So, you know, appreciate all the help. And a comment to the outside community, I think it might be over the top, but all the local Islamic educational institutes, masajid should get in contact with LGC and send their children in to experience and be exposed to jiu-jitsu, and it will definitely help them on their journey.
Thank you very much, Brother Taneem. Yeah.
The question I have for Dr. Salaman and Coach is, a lot of parents out there with children that are really comfortable sitting at home on the TV, on the games. Some of them slightly introvert, parents are busy. What advice do you have to these parents to help encourage these children that don't necessarily want to go outside to come to LGC, to come and join Jiu-Jitsu?
Jazakallah. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullah. Great question, and a great student as well, mashallah. Look, for us as parents, you know, like I said at the beginning, we're the shepherd for our family. You know, and the truth is that as as fathers and as mothers, we should get involved in jiu-jitsu. And it makes it so much easier then for you to get your child involved in jiu-jitsu. You know, for me, alhamdulillah, I've got 2 boys and a small girl. It was just natural for them to get involved in jiu-jitsu. Because dad does jiu-jitsu. You know, mum does jiu-jitsu. But, you know, uncle does jiu-jitsu. And alhamdulillah, you know, now Abdullah, my eldest, he's been training now for 7 years and he's only 10 years old. You know, so mashallah, he's got a wealth of experience already.
Wow. And
alhamdulillah, you know, and you should see, mashallah, the you know, as a child, it gives them a good physique. They build up very strong. Like we see some of these fighters like Khabib and Islam Makhachev. That was the ingredient, was starting them young.
Yeah.
Starting them very young and making it part of their life. So I would say it's very difficult to just bring your child if you're not involved yourself. So, and it doesn't mean that you need to get involved in the mornings and come and see me and make you at 7 a.m. in the mornings. Mashallah, we've got beginners classes. We've got female classes. We've got classes for over 40s. So, you know, I'm almost heading there soon. You know? I'm knocking at that door.
Please go. Don't come to the 7 a.m. anymore.
But look, like I said, and the classes are designed, you know, alhamdulillah, we've specifically designed these classes for individuals so you can train jiu-jitsu in a safe environment. You know, and I'll keep you away from these crazy guys.
Who's the one who gives me trouble all the time? And I get the break.
But alhamdulillah, great question.
Yeah, and yourself, Mikhail, I mean, why should people do jiu-jitsu, or why should parents send their children to jiu-jitsu?
I think jiu-jitsu is a very important thing. It teaches a lot about discipline and respect, you know. And when your kid doesn't know what's good for you, but you're just gonna do whatever your parents say, you know. You think your kid's gonna wake up in the morning and you feel like you want to go to school. No, he doesn't, you know. But you say, get up and go to school because you know it's good for them. Some of the kids, if you ask them, you want to go to jiu-jitsu or want to play video game? Well, lots of them are gonna say they want to play video game.
Most of them,
but what's gonna be better for them?
Yeah.
Train jiu-jitsu, learn how to respect, as Coach Salman say, build their physiques healthy. You learn how to defend yourself. You build your kid with a discipline. So what you think is going to be good? You say to your kids, get the gear and go to jiu-jitsu, or stay at home playing video game and eating. So it's up to the parents what they want for the kids, you know. Because as I say before, it's not what they want because they doesn't know, they're just a kid. So you have to know what's better for your kids, you know. Yeah. And if you ask it, some people, they love jiu-jitsu, some kids, they don't, but it's good for both of them, you know. And with the time, they get used to it and they just build the love. And a lot of people say jiu-jitsu is addictive, you know, and everyone who does jiu-jitsu only talking about that. They love jiu-jitsu so much. So it's something is important, I think, for our parents to introduce the kid to jiu-jitsu, because it's not just like good for defending the self, it's good to the kid building with respect and discipline as well.
Absolutely. You know, so many benefits that we've mentioned there.
Yeah.
We've talked about the physical benefits. We've talked about the behavioral benefits, the fact that you can defend yourself. Another thing that actually hasn't been mentioned, and I'd like to get your thoughts on, is how does jiu-jitsu help you with your mental well-being as well? What are your thoughts on that, Dr. Salaman?
Look, you know, in this day and age, you know, mental health is such a big thing.
Yeah.
And it's genuinely a big thing for all of us. We all struggle to some extent with mental health. And like I said, for me, jiu-jitsu is my outlet. You know, I'm sure Coach will probably tell you something similar. You know, all my stress, all my strain is released in jiu-jitsu. And alhamdulillah, I come back and I feel fresh and I feel relaxed. So it's important that you do try and get rid of negative energy. Not just for us as men, but for the females, for the sisters, and for the children as well. I can see my children, their behavior change when they haven't trained jiu-jitsu that week.
Yeah.
You know, so even if I didn't know whether they went or not, come Sunday, I'll be able to tell you whether or not they've trained jiu-jitsu. You know, they're so much more relaxed. And studies have shown, they're starting to do studies in America that show, especially with young boys, that after training jiu-jitsu and being involved in jiu-jitsu, their problem-solving ability becomes better. So they can problem solve faster, with more accuracy, more concentration. So it's an overall benefit. You know, it's not just that they're coming to learn self-defense, but it's benefiting all aspects of their life, whether it's education or whether it's just behavior at home. You know, taking orders from a parent. It's all part of discipline. and it's just a wholesome. For me, it's just a wholesome sport.
And for Muslims listening out there as well, it's also sunnah.
That's the beautiful thing, man.
That's one of the best things about it. I mean, all of these benefits are worldly. Whether you're Muslim or non-Muslim, you get all these benefits.
Yeah, but and I think that's why in UAE, every kid has to do jiu-jitsu in the school.
Wow.
It's part of the school. You have to.
Yeah.
So every kid does jiu-jitsu. Like the army does jiu-jitsu, the police does jiu-jitsu. So it's a national sport in UAE because they realize how important jiu-jitsu is, not just for the kids, but for everybody. It's like in a healthy, mental health way. It helps a lot with this as well.
That is awesome. Honestly, if you look at all the sports out there, there's hardly any that give you as much benefit as jiu-jitsu, one of the best sports there is to do out there. So for the listeners out there, you do have Luton Grappling Club out there in our community with world-class athletes. So make sure you go and visit. We have our next caller. Can I ask who we're speaking to?
Hello, my name is Abdullah. I have a question for the coaches.
Abdullah, we've actually heard your name during this show. So, so what is your question for the coaches, Abdullah?
My question is, what advice have you got for people that want to go out to competitions?
Okay, very good question, Abdullah.
I think the most important thing you have to know when you go to the competition, it's because everyone who sign up for the competition is gonna be scared and is gonna feel the fear. This is a normal human being. It's a normal human feeling. You're gonna have the fear. So one important thing is know what you're feeling. What you're gonna do when you go. Because a lot of people they sign up for the competition, and let's say they sign up for competition 2 weeks. They have 2 weeks thinking about the competition, scared about the competition, and sometimes they go there and they stuck. And I think one important thing you need to know is the fear is gonna be there. But the most important thing is you to be able to go and give your best. Doesn't matter how you feel. You feel scared, you go. You don't feel scared, you go. But wherever you go or not, as soon as you step in the mat, you have to give everything in there. If you feel really scared, use it just as an extra power and give everything in the mat. Because in the end of the day, what really matters is you step in the mat, and win or lose, you give everything you have. That's the advice I have for who wants to compete.
And you learn a very valuable lesson for the rest of your life, don't you? Because you have that fight or flight response. If you've never done it from childhood, if you ever get into a situation where you're on the street and you're getting attacked, if you've been through competition before, it will help you in that situation because you won't run away from it.
Use it to that feeling so you can control your feeling. But one thing I learned from jiu-jitsu is doesn't matter how hungry I am or how stressful I am, I can think normally. The same way I'm thinking now to make my decisions, I can think if I'm under pressure. If I'm very angry, if I'm scared or whatever feeling I'm feeling at the moment, I can control and think properly. And I get that benefit from jiu-jitsu for being lots of pressure, like under pressure all the time in the competition. That building like my mindset to control and think what the right thing to do on that moment. Because sometimes you get pressure, you get desperate, you make the wrong choice. But if you're able to think properly, doesn't matter what is going on, then it's a really good thing for you to have as well.
Awesome. And yourself, Dr. Salaman, what would you say are the pieces of advice? There are some listeners out there that might actually be doing jiu-jitsu, but even if they're not, if they're doing boxing or any other combat sport, they're probably going to get into some sort of competition. So what pieces of advice would you have for those going into competition?
Look, for me, competition is probably the hardest thing I'll do in my life. For some people, it will be the hardest thing they ever do. So after competition, everything else seems a lot easier. And like Coach was saying, you've got the ability to make decisions under stress, which a lot of people, and that's, look, the truth is when people are out and about and we see road rage and we see people having, fights on the streets, majority of the time is that they don't know how to deal with that stress. Alhamdulillah, for the last 15 years since I've started jiu-jitsu, I've not had an altercation on the street, whether it's road rage or somebody, because alhamdulillah, like, I don't need to. I'm in a gym every day. I'm fighting for my life against Helanda,
So Allah gives me too much stress.
And then you got, guys like Faisal, and alhamdulillah, I'm surviving.
Yeah.
But that gives me the need to, alhamdulillah, I can go around, my daily day-to-day, very relaxed.
If I go to the gym, I can so far Salomon Faisal, I feel confident to go anywhere. I feel confident to go anywhere.
So we just have a minute left. It's been wonderful speaking to Coach Mikael Highlander and Coach Salaman Iqbal. We just have a few seconds left of the show. But what I'd like to end in is, what is the future of Luton Grappling Club, and why should people visit Luton Grappling Club?
Alhamdulillah, for us, we're going from strength to strength. We've built a whole complex now where you've got jiu-jitsu, you've got a weightlifting gym, you've got a sauna, you've got hyperbaric oxygen therapy. We've got the doctors downstairs that can monitor your health, monitor your performance. Even today, I got my vitamin C infusion to make sure I'm on top condition. And for us, it's really just building it for the community.
Okay, awesome. It's been a pleasure having Coach Salaman, the owner of Luton Grappling Club, and the number 2 ranked BJJ athlete in the world, Mikael Highlander. This was a very special show. To all the listeners out there, do visit Luton Grappling Club and join you again next week. Thank you. Good night.